Good morning, everyone. I am going to do another guided meditation, and then I'm going to be doing a channeled from Spirit message about fostering relationships from a state of wholeness and completeness. And I don't have a lot in my head on this, so it's going to be what comes out as I'm doing it. But how we're going to start, we'll do a short guided meditation just to get us in the right frequency for the message. And then I will share the message, and had to do it here near Rock Creek because I had to shift a lot of my schedule around. Don't have enough time to go to a hiking spot, but have enough time here before my mom gets ready. So we're gonna go ahead and just jump on in. So go ahead and inhale in through the nose, and then sigh, exhale out the mouth. Let's do a second one. Inhale in, and then exhale it out with a sigh. I'm going to do one more inhale in, and then hold this for a few seconds, and then exhale it out. And hopefully we hear some birds and wildlife as we're doing this. But I want you to start to visualize that and then make sure you're in a comfortable spot as we're doing this, because it's a visualization exercise and you make it in a deeper state. I want you to visualize that there's kind of this bean-shaped beanbag chair behind you. And it's gonna be any color. Mine is an orange color. And this is going to embody the part inside of you that is whole and complete in a unique frequency of Source Creator or God, whichever way you look at it. And that this thing is right behind you, just right up against you. You can almost feel it, but not quite. And it's there any time that you need it. And now I want you to, as you inhale in, visualize yourself leaning back and sinking into this beanbag chair. So inhale in, and just let yourself go back into it as you exhale. And as you breathe in through your nose and exhale out your nose or mouth, I would say nose for this and just do prana breath as you see fit, but the constant breathing will be important to really keep you grounded as you're doing this exercise. I want you to just keep sinking into this beanbag chair shaped thing. And then just let yourself sink into it. And then as you're going into this, for me, it's feeling like the sense of radiating warmth, not a hot warmth, a comforting warmth. And there's peace in here, and there's nothing of lack in this space. There's no loneliness, there's no isolation. There's connected to Source Creator through you. That's inside you at all times. I want you just to, as you're breathing, just observe the feeling in this space. In this space, there's nothing giving you a sense of urgency. There's nothing saying that you need something external to you to complete you. There's no, the mind chatter is much reduced because there's just this places of awareness that everything you have is already within you at this point through Source Creator and you being the unique frequency of God, of Source. Let's do a couple more breaths as we're in this space to really get anchored into it. And then one more. Now I want you to notice just outside of this beanbag, there's this glow of a violet flame, and it's also with a white flame. This is the flame of Archangel Michael. Some would say even it's the flame of Saint Germain. And then the white is just source creator energy. It may look like a platinum to you, but to me it looks more white. And this is encapsulating what you are inside right now. And that this is available to you at all times. And this is a place you can go to when everything in the outside world seems chaotic, or it's trying to say, you need this to complete you, or this is what's wrong with you, or this is what's wrong with you. And what if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're exactly the frequency of source creator that you want, you're here to be? Feel the difference in that energy versus, oh, my eyes are too small, or my eyes are too big, or I'm overweight, or I'm too skinny. That in this what if you are the unique flavor you're supposed to be. And as long as you're listening to that source creator and listening to what your body needs, nutrient-wise, movement-wise, you are exactly how you're supposed to be. And feel that freedom within that, being in that space. And that there's this protection from Archangel Michael or Saint Germain, from Source Creator, that you are divinely protected as long as you stay in touch with whatever is in your instincts. Everything is going to go as divinely planned. And that allows a space where you can surrender to flow, because you will get to where you need to be as long as you're doing whatever action steps you need to do with whatever you're trying to co-create. As long as you're responding in love, that's going to be the momentum going forward, and that is the foundation of all things. And then I have a couple of incantations that I want to us to say as we're doing this, and there are three. Let's start with this one. I am whole, complete, and empowered to co-create my perfect reality in love. Let's say that all together. I am whole, complete, and empowered to co-create my perfect reality in love. Now the second one is, I have all the love in me to be complete and whole. Let's say that one more time. I have all the love in me to be complete and whole. Let's breathe in. And then let it out. The last one is, I am complete without another, as I am a unique flavor of Source Creator. I am complete without another, as I am a complete and unique flavor of Source Creator. Let's breathe in and let that out one more time. Now I want you to visualize that beanbag is about the size of an orb, extending out about 6 feet out from all in all directions. And then the violet flame that looks like just a sheen glow around this orb, and then a white flame of Source Creator right outside of that. And this is the space where you can create anything from, and that you will be divinely protected. Let's breathe in one more time. Now a sigh breath to release anything that's holding you back. And so it is. Okay, how are you feeling after that? I wanted to keep it to 10 minutes because it feels like this channel message may be more than I was expecting. I kind of got a glimpse that Jesus and Mary Magdalene are going to be back in this one, but a very different message than the last one I did. But the title I was given is Fostering Relationships from a Sense in Wholeness and Completeness. And then matching your complete love within you to co-create with your soulmate for the quantum completeness with freedom, intentionality, and deliberateness. I have a feeling that's going to be what we're going to be saying at the end, but that was kind of all that was given to me before I started this. So let me jump in here and just try to tap in a little deeper. This is kind of a, I'm going to call it chorus message right now. Jesus and Mary Magdalene's there. Looks like Seleucia is also there. And then kind of the Archangel Spirit teams, and my higher self is going to essentially be the translator of what's going through. I wanted to first start saying, you've made it this far. And what a blessing that is. As you have been conditioned from the beginning that God is outside of you, and you have to do all of these things to then be in favor of God, maybe at the time of your end of life, in a very disempowering way. And then you think about that within the relationships and the structures that have been put into place that are designed to, in a space that you are incomplete without another. And that significant other is the thing that's going to bring you one step closer to completeness, because you're not complete, because you're not God. And we can say from back many years ago, and we have to go into another parable in this, and this is Jesus and Mary Magdalene speaking at this point. Our story was not told. In the Bible, Mary Magdalene was portrayed in the terms of that Bible, the harlot. And that may be true. She did what she had to do to survive in a crumbling empire. And it's seemingly similar in this position in the world that we see today that you all are existing in. I was brought down, and they say as a Messiah, but really probably the more correct term is avatar, because I wanted so badly to show that there's that God and sources within you, and you're all complete and unique source, a unique flavor of source creator. And that liberation and that freedom will come from within, because that is, the portal is in each and every one of us to God. It is not outside of us. And in that sense of love, when you find that right frequency, you can then connect with them from a place of wholeness. Mary Magdalene didn't necessarily understand that she was already whole at that time, but I saw the divine soul in her, and I saw there's this pure love, and that she was a person of service. She understood the plight of the people. And that was the thing that made me fall in love with her. And it felt in the frequency, because I was more aware of it than her, because I did get down from Source Creator, and we'll talk about the virgin birth at another time. That the story of Radha and Krishna is very similar, but with a little different twist. In the story of Radha and Krishna, Krishna was immortal. And in the folklore, the mythology of Hinduism, he had to take on a demon king. And if he beat the demon king, he would become a god. And he was a sub-derivative of Vishnu, but to some, that's not important for this parable. There was a farmhand, a milkmaid for lack of a better term, in the nearby village in the Gobi area. And her name was Radha. And Radha and Krishna had met before he got sent off and they, as children, and she was madly in love with him and he was in love with her. But he had to go off and do this to save his village from the Demon King, so they lost sight. Because she was in a lower caste, very similar to Mary Magdalene. A little bit different, but functionally the same. Her parents made her marry off to someone to have a dowry so they would be less poor. So she was forced to marry. But that love for Krishna never wavered. And they were separate for a long time, and in time her husband passed away. They did get to see each other one last time before Krishna, or Krishna saw her one more time before she passed away in her village, and that love was still there. And in that moment, it's the pure bhakti and shakti. She's like the divine feminine in human form. Did all the sacrifice, but that wavering love for Krishna, which is now a deity, consort to deity, was there. In the beginning, Mary Magdalene saw me as a deity. And I guess in some ways I could see how people would see that, even though I was merely a messenger. But instead, she didn't have parents telling her she needed to marry someone else. But she didn't, if she and I got together, she would not have to be, quote unquote, a harlot anymore. And she could do good, helping the poor, the needy, the lepers, the people that the Gentile society and Roman society and the Jewish society at that time were the untouchables, the unclean. These are the people we were with. And we saw the wholeness and completeness in all of them, even though their external plight led them to things that scared a lot of the people of the day before their fear of mortality, because there were a lot of illnesses there that could kill you. The water was becoming less clean, and the fall of Rome, so there were excesses, so there were a lot of things going on. But we had that essence of consort and deity among us. And Mary Magdalene's story didn't get fully told. I mean, it's there in the Nagamai library. The Book of Mary Magdalene does talk about this. But all we're here to say is that because we were looking at everything from a lens that we were whole and complete, that made everything possible. That made the impossible possible. And you can see the quantum effect in every person we touched, and there were miracles. Mary Magdalene performed miracles. And in that lens, you can literally do anything when you're tapped in the source creator. And even if you end up finding what we'll say is a divine partner, whether it's in that consort deity lens or just two co-creators, when you come from a sense that you're already whole and complete, this is just an expansion of the blessings we already have, and that we are creating that quantum energy to create, for lack of a better term, a legacy. And this type of relationship will transform the dysfunction that is in this world today, from that sense of lack of wholeness, lack of completeness. And Mary Magdalene's going to talk now. Even if you have made what one would say terrible decisions in your life, even if it was out of a place of survival, action steps forward to change that is the way forward. And when you know that you're whole and complete, you can co-create. You can transform your life in much faster speed than you ever thought possible. I know I didn't think it was going to transform as quickly as it did. I didn't think I was going to be performing miracles. I didn't think I was going to have that much of an impact. While in the end, it went back to a top-down order. We were able to create a seed to plant that has taken thousands of years to germinate, of this wholeness and completeness, this co-creation from source, so we all can be in our own Radha and Krishna story and complete those legacies. And it may not be a romantic relationship, but it may be. It could be a business partner. It can be chosen family. But to create these structures from wholeness and have each other's back, to really be divinely protected, when you can create those intentional communities, villages, for lack of a better term, that's where miracles really start coming in. That's when momentum comes in. And quite honestly, this may be your path forward, because we have seen in history, when you challenge the status quo, you challenge what's in power directly, if they have the weapons and resources, it's not going to be a winning battle there. And I think the invitation for all of us, because we were in a free will approach to this as we rendered ministry, for lack of a better term, into the world. We did this from a voluntarism perspective. It was not forced will. And we can go back, and the person delivering this message has seen his past lives, where it was forced will was tried in Lemuria, when it was tried in Atlantis, when it was tried in other ancient civilizations that go beyond that, and it didn't work out. The third way is the way forward. It all starts with you in your sphere, making sure that your well is full, that you can give. That's the first and most important thing. Your health is as good as it can be. Then you can start fostering those relationships from a sense of wholeness, which is so rich, because then you don't have expectations on the other to complete you in some way or do X, Y, or Z. It can then be, if there's something lacking, you can say what those are, and then in the version of boundaries, and make that to happen. The relationship that Jesus and I had together was full of that, and conflicts were easily resolved because we came from the state, and we were in the same energetics, and we saw each other's frequencies and knew that it was in harmony, and like harmony, joy, peace, love, ecstasy, it was all there. And if we co-create with others intentionally, in present, deliberately, this is what can unfold. This is where we can get the critical mass, and this is where we change structures and systems, not by directly challenging it, but just really anchoring down our unique flavor of Source Creator and working with those that have that similar frequency. And if a frequency isn't similar, I mean, just acknowledge it and still be in love towards that person. That just may not be the person that's going to be part of what you're going to be co-creating. So it's going to feel, in this evolution, tribalism in a sense, but a different flavor. It's not out of violent turf wars like we've seen in the past. This is just going to be a realignment. And from there, healthy, whole relationships can form, healthy families can come forward, and an abundance we have never seen before. And the person delivering this message is going to talk about money in a future message and a visualization exercise, because our current systems are designed to make the appearance that everything is limited. But Source Creator, and looking at science, if money is a frequency, there is no limitation to it. It flows. It can't be dammed up. It can't be harnessed. But you have access to it, and that's what we're going to be showing the person delivering this message in a future time. And I'm seeing if Salusa had something to say in this too, right at the very end, because we're getting close to wrapping it up. Yeah, he said not this message goes beyond what he was going to say, because his is more talking about the systems than relationships at this point. Okay, very good. So I want to leave this message and thank my source guides, Jesus and Mary Magdalene for really coming up and speaking, because I didn't know who was going to be speaking this, and giving me the ability to communicate this, and thanking everyone here to listen and bear witness to this, because now speaking as myself, this is not a comfortable thing for me. I've never shared that I can access this, and some days I can, some days I can't, but today I did. And we're going to seal off the message. The divine, the incantation is what they want me to do. Okay. So I'm going to read a couple things and we're going to go from there. This is what to take from it. It is important that you're matching your complete love inside of you, that you are enough. What you want to fall in love with is you. And in that, if you are open to a significant other, divine partner, whatever, to co-create with that soulmate, twin flame, whatever it may be, this is going to create from completeness to quantum completeness. You're already complete, but it's really just anchoring beyond the five senses, beyond the three dimensions. And in this space, you're going to have healthy relationships. You're going to have a relationship that is in freedom, that it's intentional, it's deliberate, it's not from lacking. It is a partnership. And if we treated friendships and all that kind of in that same lens, that's the foundation that will create things that are going to be much more deep, wholesome, not so trivial, not so externally focused, and will bring you probably more joy than you've ever imagined before. And this is speaking for myself as well. But I wanted to leave you with that, and thank you all for listening. I'm going to try to do these once a week, but my work schedule is about to ramp up, so I might not be able to. But I want to thank you all for listening to this. And if you have any questions of what I did, feel free to send them my way. And thank you, and namaste.